Hello, loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here. You may be looking at the title of this video and wonder what in the world I'm going to be talking about with a title like this that's probably something profound and important, but that really isn't the case. In fact, this is just a message that I was originally going to throw at the end of one of my upcoming Pokemon battles, but I've realized what I'm about to say is a bit long, and I didn't want to just tack it on to the end of a video, so I might as well just make an entire video of this by itself. And for the video to go along with this, I think I'm just going to throw in some videos of either Battle Spot or... Actually, I don't know if I did any Battle Spot on Oris yet. I know I have, but I don't know if I saved any of them. Maybe I'll upload some Battle Mace, or maybe I'll go back, do some X and Y videos, or maybe even Smash. I don't know. Whatever you're watching now, it's obvious, but yeah, so anyway, about this topic. How to begin this. If you've been watching my Pokemon X videos since the beginning, you'll know that a lot of my teams aren't ever really based on tier. Really? I mean, I don't go into Ubers ever, which that will change sometime in the future. But, like, I don't make teams specifically based on, like, OU or UU. I didn't a lot in the past, but that is one of the things that is going to be changing. Granted, back in X and Y, I would usually just find passerbys or acquaintances to battle, and, you can't really communicate to the level of, okay, let's have an OU battle, let's have a UU battle with an acquaintance or passerby like that, bar from, that little, like, 20 character, or maybe it's 15 or 16 character message shout out, I think it's called, you could do. But I don't think a lot, it doesn't really happen to me a lot. A lot of people don't do that, especially a lot of the people that I battled with. Some did, and that's great for communication, but the communication in-game isn't that great. And I could go on and on about the communication with trading online, because that's just abysmal. But for battling, I mean, back in X and Y, like, when I would just battle them, it wasn't such a big deal to do tiers. I never did Ubers, so if I came up against an Uber opponent that actually knew what they were doing, which I don't think ever happened, then, I wasn't immediately at a disadvantage. But if I did go up against an OU team, and I had, mostly NU, for example, then it would be probably a tough fight for me. But I'm not really complaining, because, the Pokemon that I used in my X videos, I liked, and, I still like, and I used them, and I will still use them. I guess the point I'm trying to make by this is that a lot of the battles I'm having now are, determined beforehand with the rules in place. We're communicating beforehand so we can say, let's have a UU battle. And back in X, that rarely happened, but now that's happening quite a bit more often, so I'm a bit more conscious about the tiers. You might have already noticed that in my Pokemon Omega Ruby battles, but now especially coming up, I've been way more proactive about building teams based on what tier I plan to use them in. As a result of this, I started to train some Pokemon that I didn't exactly ever expect. I don't even know what I just said there, if that made any sense. Let me try that again. As a result of this, I started to train some Pokemon that I didn't necessarily expect me to ever use. Not to say that I flat out don't like them or don't want to use them, but I just, back in my X videos, I never did use them because the priority of the team was to use Pokemon that I liked to use first and foremost. Then, if I had to, build around that with Pokemon that weren't so high on my favorites list, but that complemented them enough that the team could work. That's how a lot of my X teams were made. but now it's going to be a lot more focused on tiers instead of, that way to determine my team. And if you saw a lot of my videos, I even said before the video, oh yeah, I just put this team together in like 2 minutes. And for the most part, I did that because a lot of the Pokemon that I did train were just, my favorites, and I would have to put together kind of semi-sloppily a team based on, one or two that I really liked, and then have to build around it with more Pokemon that I had trained that I either happened to like or happened to train, even though I didn't like them as much. And I didn't have many of the latter. But now I started training those Pokemon that I quote-unquote don't like as much. For example, let's say Gengar. I don't have anything against Gengar, I just never trained one before, and now I have one for OU, and I will be using it in upcoming battles, and I'm very excited about this. Before I came to this decision, this wasn't exactly one decision at once either, but when this idea started coming to me, I wasn't too sure about it because, okay, this is like a multi-level explanation, and I probably already skipped over like 6 subjects or went past them because there's so many thoughts right now, and this tangent isn't helping. Now, what was I saying? Okay. At the end of X's lifespan, I was pretty burnt out on the Pokemon X scene, mostly just because I played it so much. Eventually, I kind of stopped playing and just waited for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And, when that came, I wasn't too excited to play it. That might have just been because Smash just came out and I was more excited for that. But now I'm way more excited about ORAS competitive than I was when ORAS came out. Mostly because of the fact that now I have a whole bunch of new Pokemon that I didn't ever use before, like Gengar and Zapdos and Landorus, for example, to name a few. Breloom is another, just some OU Pokemon that I didn't ever think I would use. But now that I'm training them and seeing how fun and good they are, I'm really excited, and that's just some OU pokes. There's so many more UU and, well, not too many RU, because that tier is so little that I'm going to have trouble building that, but you know what I mean. So to kind of abridge this whole message and make the beginning portion of this video pointless, I'm going to start using more Pokemon that are quote-unquote good, in addition to using my favorites, because back in the day I pretty much solely used my favorites. I think I did occasionally build around my favorites using some Pokemon that weren't so high on my favorites list, but now I will be including more and more of those Pokemon, and who knows, maybe they'll start becoming my favorites, because I really am liking Breloom right now, just for one. He's the one I've used the most out of those 4 I mentioned. So I'm very excited for upcoming battles, ones that I've had already and have yet to narrate, and upcoming ones in the future that I will have, because as I said, most of the battles I'm having now are decided beforehand, requested beforehand, communicated beforehand, so we can say let's have an OU battle, and because of that I will have teams ready, have, competitive teams ready. I'm not trying to downplay my teams of the past, but now I guess I'm just getting a sliver more competitive, because I'm not taking my teams and my skills, quote-unquote skills, too seriously, because, I don't gen, I'm against genning completely, I don't do showdown, so I can't really consider myself that competitive. I mean, I try to win, but I don't. I mean, I do go all out in battles usually, but I can't say I can't say with certainty that I am a competitive Pokemon player. I just play Pokemon competitively for fun, if that makes any kind of sense. If not, then this video already doesn't make sense, and I'm just kind of wasting anyone's time watching it. But for the most part, I expect most people to skip past this video, because as we all know, most of my subscribers are subscribed for my Ocarina of Time Let's Play. But this, if you got this far into the video, then know that this video is more for myself, because it is kind of a pride thing that, okay, now am I really going to stop using Pokemon that I like in favor of ones that are good just so I can win? But that's not it. I'm using the good Pokemon in addition to the ones I like, not just to win, but because it's fun. It's more exciting than using the same pokes that I like, and like I said, I might start to like these new pokes now. So I think I said everything that I wanted to say. If I missed something, then I'll probably leave a comment or something somewhere sometime. Again, if you watched this video, thanks. If you want to battle me, let me know. I should have a battle coming up soon, but I don't know. Boy, this video kinda isn't turning out the way I planned. I planned this to be a not so important video. I mean, it isn't important really at all. I'm rambling right now. That's how unimportant it is. And thanks for watching the video if you did get this far. So goodbye.